October 12th, 2 p.m. Legislature session. Would the clerk please call the roll?
Michael Yurden.
Present.
Herbert Yurden.
Present.
Edward Gilson.
Here.
David Holtz.
Here.
Roy Rehill.
Here.
John Martino's been marked excused. Frank Lombardo.
Here.
Paul House.
Here.
James Weatherup.
Here.
Mary Ellen Chesbro.
Here.
Linda Lockwood. Here. Richard Klein.
Present.
Patrick Twist.
Here.
Stephen Walpole.
Here.
Kevin Hill.
Here.
James Scanlon.
Here.
Lori Nagano. Here. Robert Wilmot.
Here.
Marie Shah.
Here.
Paul Conley.
Here.
Noel Samuelson.
Here.
James Karasik.
Here.
Michael Soloway.
Here.
Mark Greco.
Here.
Frank Castilia.
Wouldn't miss it.
Mr. Chairman, there's 21 present and 1 absent. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Would you now lead us in the invocation?
During these unsettled times, may we pray for our friends and family and all those suffering in Israel and ask for protection and comfort for everyone who has been impacted. Let us be thankful for the gift of each day and for the examples of courage and dedication that we'll all live by. Help us remember that we all wish for a healthier, happier tomorrow. Grant us clarity of purpose and protect us from all distractions. Amen.
Thank you. And now the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Could we please have Sheriff Hilton, the Public Safety Committee, and the following individuals come forward: Ken Bush, Lynn Harper, Jessica Hoyt, Nicholas Hoyt, and Albert Kalfouts, or their representatives.
Don't trip on my life.
We should be going in decent order of height.
Hey, we want to take a couple minutes to recognize a group of individuals that stepped up in a fatal motor vehicle accident. In an era when normal reaction seems to be take your phone out and record the tragedy as it unfolds, this group decided to take action. On June 6th of this year, members of the Oswego County Sheriff's Office responded to a fatal motor vehicle accident on Route 104 in the town of Eldon. Sergeant Joe Taylor was the first to arrive on scene. He observed one individual, one of the involved drivers, was severely injured but conscious, trapped inside his pickup, which was beginning to catch fire. The driver could not be removed from his vehicle due to its position and extensive damage. Upon Sergeant Taylor's arrival on scene, several civilians, including Kenneth Bush, Lynn Harper, Nicholas Hoyt, Jessica Hoyt, and Albert Kalfest, were already actively attempting to extinguish the fire or remove the driver from the vehicle, despite obvious dangers to their own safety. These civilians worked furiously with Sergeant Taylor and Deputy Pretori and were able to subdue the fire, force open the truck's door, and remove the driver moments before the vehicle was engulfed in flames. This selfless and decisive actions of these individuals undoubtedly saved the life of the driver. For your actions on that day, you've been awarded the Oswego County Sheriff's Civilian Appreciation Award.
It's my daughter and son-in-law, and they were very, very affected by it, and this is very nice. Thank you.
Again, thank you.
Thank you again. At this time, if Nathan Emmons could come forward. For those of you that don't know, Nathan Emmons was a member here until just recently and took another job with the IDA, which we're very appreciative of. I'd like to take this moment to recognize the former legislator Nathan Emmons. He was elected to the county legislature in 15th district in 2018, and he's faithfully served our Oswego County community and the city of Oswego for over 5 years. Your knowledge in economic development, business, and your vocal, steadying leadership has been an asset to the entire legislature and those whom you represent. Your strong support of local businesses in Oswego County is admirable. Thank you, sir. He knew that. Thank you.
Come on up there.
Oh, one more. Come on.
Good, yes. Come on.
Show me how to hit the button. I'll do that for you.
Look, I'm not transferred to vacation. That's true.
Use up your whole memory card for me.
Thank you. Thank you.
This time, what we're going to do, I'd like to get a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meetings on September 11th, the 15th, and the 26th.
Make that motion.
Motion made and accepted. And any comments, any questions, concerns? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. At this time, Legislator House.
Yes, I would recommend a 15-minute recess so I can convene with the caucus, please.
Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. See you in approximately 15 minutes. All right, if you have your attention, please. I'd like to call this meeting back into session. Apologize for that brief interlude. A little bit of a housekeeping. I did neglect to mention when Nate Emmons was here that he had been a kind of a leader in this study that we're having done about BSS. Part of that committee that we had put together before is now going to be chaired by Legislator Gilson, and I'd like to thank you for stepping up for that. Moving on now, introduction to visitors.
There are, excuse me, Mr. Chairman, there are none.
Okay, thank you. Any public speakers on resolutions of the day?
There are none.
All right, thank you. Reports of county officials. Report of standing committees. And the report of special committees. Thank you. Moving on now to resolutions, government reports, and consumer affairs. Resolution GC1 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move the resolution. Urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
A resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 4 of the year 2023 entitled A Local Law Amending Local Law Number 1 of 2022 regarding income qualifications for partial tax exemptions on certain real property owned by eligible persons 65 years of age or over.
Yes, this is a partial acre exemption for people over 65 years, and it's for a public hearing held on the 9th of November at 2 o'clock in the chambers.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC2 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing transfer to additional funds of $412,277 from the fund balance A15900 to the assigned council office legal fees A 1170, object 543300.
Yes, this is, part of it's, for a 41.50 an hour increase rate for attorneys in the state.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
This comes down from the state, right?
What's that?
Is this coming down from the state, or is this, we're saying we can do this?
Where does it say you have to do this?
This is a state mandate.
Yes.
State mandate, that's what I'm asking. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution GC3 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the reclassification of one position in the public defender's office.
Yes, this is where an assistant public defender, grade 70, in the management personnel compensation plan, be classified to senior assistant public defender, grade 80.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, I was in the government's courts meeting when this resolution was brought forward, and I asked questions at that meeting, and I find it rather, it takes me back a little bit when you have rank and file that have to file for go through a contract every 3 years, and have to fight for tooth and nail for any kind of raise. And here you have somebody that lives in another county, because they were offered a position that would require them to move into this county. They said no to it, but they would take a senior position, naming the salary that's, I believe, is astronomical. It's higher than what's being paid in the 2 counties above us. But I just can't be in favor of this when people just walk in here and say, this is what we want, and this is what we'll get. And we have people that are out there day in and day out, and they have to fight for it. I'm sorry.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to Public Safety Committee, Resolution PS1 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution accepting grant award from the New York State Division of Criminal Justice Services aid to prosecution grant.
This is an additional $369,000 and change geared towards the additional work required due to bail reform and discovery.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS2 by Legislator Greco.
I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the Oswego County Emergency Management Office to accept a donation from Brookfield Renewable.
This is an amount of $5,000 that was donated towards the drone program.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution PS3 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification for the Emergency Management Office to accept funding from the Department of Homeland Security and Emergency Services for FY 2023 State Homeland Security Program.
This is in the amount of $166,000 plus. It will impact 10 first responding agencies in our county, from iron responding to computer upgrades to radios.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution PS4 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification for Sheriff's Office overtime.
This is in the amount of $200,000, 160 of which will come from salary and wages, and another 40,000 will come out of the overtime budget. As we know, we are short personnel, and we have people county be down, it should come out, but we're going to need to pay people overtime to do it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to Resolution PS 5 by Legislator Greco.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and recommend its approval.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification for Sheriff's Office, overtime in the jail.
So this is for corrections, it's in the amount of a little over $82,000. It will come out of the budget line of temporary and overtime line. It's the same situation, we're short people. He's mandating overtime at this one year.
Understood. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving to the Human Services Committee, Resolution HS1 by Legislator Rito.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution, urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing reclassification of one employment advisor to one employment specialist assistant in the Department of Social Services.
Due to a recent resignation, this allows us the opportunity to assess current job duties and determine ongoing need. With the reclassification of this position, the team will have 2 employment specialist assistants and will allow them to be able to move some duties away from the employment specialist. It actually lowers our costs this year a little bit, and $1,563 in fiscal '24.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS2 by Legislator Rito.
I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing reclassification of 2 positions in the Department of Social Services.
We're gearing up for our heating season, and we've had some limited luck in finding typist candidates. We decided to reclassify that as a CSW, and these are seasonal positions that are 100% reimbursed with state and federal funds, so there's no local share, and it's going to help us process the HEAP applications.
Good, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS3? HS3.
And I offer that resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, 2023 to 2024, rental supplement program allocation acceptance.
This is a program that we've done over the course of several years, $432,808 to accept that rental supplement program allocation for fiscal '23-24.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS4 by Legislator Rito.
I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification amendment to resolution number 173, Department of Social Services, 2022 to 2023, rental supplement program allocation.
This is just a correction to the budget that changes account numbers. It doesn't fiscally do anything.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS5 by Legislator Rito.
Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing reclassification of 2 positions in the Department of Social Services Administrative Unit.
DSS currently has 1 employee that processes payroll and handles all of the in-house HR inquiries for all 350-plus employees. This upgrade will allow more effective administration of those processes.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS6 by Legislator Rito.
Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, furniture and furnishings for remainder of 2023 calendar year.
This is just to cover furniture and furnishings expenses for the remainder of the fiscal year. It's $4,690.
Okay, thank you.
Question?
Bless you, legislator Twist. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS7 by legislator Reno.
I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Social Services, reproduction expenses for remainder of 2023 calendar year.
This basically has to do cost of doing business increases. We have some reimbursement for the line. It's a $2,000 request.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS8 by legislator Reno.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing amended fee schedule for indigent burials.
Last year, we neglected to have a cremation fee involved on the chart of services, and we're just adding that fee of $350.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS9 by legislator Reno.
I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution transferring funds from capital project number B0621, Sandy Island Beach, and increasing authorization of capital project 0121, Company 25, Camp Hollis Shoreline Stabilization.
The red grants had to do with projects up on the shore of Lake Ontario. There was a project at Sandy Creek, Sandy Island Bridge that was not able to be constructed. We're taking the money from there in order to augment the money that we have to do the shoreline stabilization at Camp Hollis.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, it's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS10 by legislator Reno.
Mr. Chairman, I offer the following resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution opposing New York City's updated city fighting homelessness and eviction prevention supplement program to send homeless families and individuals to upstate New York.
As many of you may have heard, Mayor Adams in New York City attempted to expand access to housing for homeless individuals currently residing in New York City by allowing those individuals to move across the state into different counties while still receiving the New York City Housing Voucher Rental Assistance. We consider this to be illegal per state social services law. The actions place unaffordable financial burdens on our county and add pressures on an already overstressed human services agencies and our ability to house these folks. So I strongly urge our support of this resolution.
All right, thank you. And I would urge all of my colleagues to support this resolution opposing New York City's proposal issuing housing vouchers outside of the geographical location, jurisdiction of New York City and sending homeless families or persons to upstate counties without any regard to local county resources. New York City's plan to place over 110,000 homeless individuals in upstate counties will be detrimental to our current homeless situation, along with the public health, safety, and welfare of our own human services agencies. As the chairman, I strongly support this resolution to oppose New York City's Fighting Homelessness Eviction Prevention Supplement Program. Any other discussion?
In my opinion, right now, we have a significant homeless issue that we have never seen in our life in Oswego, New York. It is everywhere. I'm driving around, unbelievable, under all bridges. I would just like to know how this is happening. I mean, Price Chopper is losing $2,700 to $3,000 a day in theft. That came from the managers. I'm just concerned how this has happened right now.
All right, well, we're all concerned, and that's why we're coming up with this resolution that New York City does not have a plan for this. We've already got our own problems with our own homeless as it is. We don't need to add to it. Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, first of all, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say that seeing your name listed as someone that's being sued for, going against what New York City is saying.
Yeah, my wife's pretty thrilled with that.
I want you to know that the Minority Caucus took up a fund and we did get you some soap on the road. But on the serious side on this, okay, I'm getting mixed messages here. Okay? And we're saying there's no room at the end, but yet we're saying build it and they will come. And it's do what we say, not what we do. We've got affordable housing being put in Pulaski, affordable housing in Scriba, affordable housing in Oswego, all over the place. And if things happen properly the way they want it to happen in Fulton, we're going to have affordable housing in Fulton. Okay? Now, we got the New York State minority leader that says it's great that we have the housing put into Pulaski. And I'm sorry, you vote against it, but then you say it's great for it to come in there. We've got a high-ranking Oswego County Legislature, elected official that's pushing for affordable housing in the city of Fulton. We're hypocrites in what we're portraying. I agree with what we're doing, and I'll be voting in favor of it, but we've got to get our act together here, gentlemen, and stop saying, okay, don't come here, but we're going to put in affordable housing with a fictitious thing that it's for Micron. Well, I'm sorry, Micron's not going to move into affordable housing. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let there be no mixed message. There's no one in this legislature that I know of that doesn't believe we need a safety net for those that need help. Our widows, our children are sick or are hurt. And I couldn't agree more than with Representative Schott. But we need to take care of our own first. We're at a limit, a breaking point with our DSS. We just had 10 resolutions related, so many of it to DSS. And, it's a struggle for our taxpayers today with the mandates that come down from the state. And with Governor Hochul holding back monies for Medicaid that we're all going to have to be faced with the next budget that's coming forward. I say, I'm all for a safety net, but I'm for a safety net for the people that we represent.
Agreed. Thank you. Legislator Rio.
I think we found that we thought that it may have happened sooner after the eviction moratorium ended, but this is really part of the fallout of that and inflation raising the cost of housing. So there's a whole bunch of factors that go into the homeless problem here. I really think we did just have a homeless forum with many associations there. It was well attended, but it's an intractable problem. It goes back. It's poverty. It's generational poverty. It's people that don't have any money. It's the drug addiction, substance addicted folks. There's no easy solutions, but we just don't. With this resolution, all we're saying is there's no more room at the end. If you're sending them from New York City and you're going to try to pay for them to be here, that's against the law.
Correct. Legislator Walpole.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I couldn't agree with Legislator Schott more. On the other hand, I think the big question here is we do see a lot of homelessness. We see a lot of these people everywhere. The big question is these people, it doesn't take a lot of research to figure out that these people aren't native to the area. Why isn't they flocking here? For some reason they're coming here. We keep building more places, and if you go there, these people aren't native to our area. That's the question.
Agreed. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, everybody's acting like these are local people that are filling this housing. I've gone around, I've talked to everybody. But we had to up the police force because of all the calls. These are people from New York City, Buffalo, all over the place, all over, were being dumped on. And the city had a lot of faults, a lot of pluses. The plus was you could walk stark naked down Bridge Street at 3 in the morning and you'd never have a problem.
Wouldn't recommend it.
But I wouldn't recommend it anymore. It is a dangerous city now. And that is a fault of anybody who's okayed all this housing. Everywhere this housing is, there are problems. There's damage to the building right away. And none of the bottom pieces of these dwellings that were part of the pilots and part of the agreements, when we signed these in, which I was never for the pilots, a pilot to me should never last more than 5 or 6 years, none of them have rental space rented. And that was part of our agreement when we granted pilots to them. Can we enforce full taxes on them now? I'd like to know that, Rich, because not one of those buildings has housed anything for rental retail space.
Right, I think you perhaps raised very valid points, but that's not this resolution.
I understand
This
that, but it
resolution-
goes hand in hand with it,
Well,
because
this
we've given
resolution-
out all this money, brought all this housing in, now we have a serious problem.
Well, I would agree with that, but that's not this resolution. This resolution is to state our opposition to any more.
I am opposed to it, but I'm also opposed to what's going on
Right.
with all this housing.
Again, different form for that. Legislator Castillo.
I hear what everybody's saying, and I don't want anybody to take the wrong idea that, but if this legislative body is saying no, but yet there's people that are above us that are saying, yes, build more housing. And we have to send a word to them. We don't want it, not in our county, because if we have open houses, we can't fight that we don't have room for them. And I agree, we don't have room for them, we don't have the resources for it, and I'm in favor of this resolution.
All right, thank you. I think we're all spoke well, and we're all in agreement to oppose this, I believe. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving on to the Economic Development Planning Committee, Legislator Chesbro with Resolution EP1.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution fixing time and place for public hearing relative to proposed County of Oswego Local Law Number 5 of the year 2023, entitled, "A Local Law Establishing the County Planning Department as the sole county planning agency for the purposes of referrals under New York State General Municipal Law 239-1, 239-M, and 239-N."
Yes, this is fixing time and place for November 9th of 2023 at 2 o'clock. And what it is for is to make sure that our planning department is the sole source of where the towns will be notifying of any growth that we're having in different projects. It's to try to let everybody know what's happening. However, as it has always been, if the town should decide to go ahead, even if the county has advised no, they have the right of rule. Home rule, supermajority can stop it.
That's an important point. Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Okay, thank you. Before these next two resolutions that deal with Legends Field, it's very important to our local economy. The installation of both the turf field and the resurfacing of the current parking lot will provide a substantial boost in Oswego County tourism and will benefit the local economy. Patrons come from all over the country to play baseball at Legends Field. These upgrades will not only ensure the playing season will be extended 2 to 3 months longer than normal, it also means that people will be staying in Oswego County hotels and visiting the restaurants, museum, and shops for that same 2 or 3 months longer. Resolution EP2 by Legislator Chesbro.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution determining that the installation of artificial turf for some infields at the Legends Fields complex constitutes a Type 2 action under seeker.
Yes, this is a project that has actually gone to Supreme Court for, and then approved that if there is a laying of turf, it is a Title II project. Title II means it is no environmental impact, therefore the seeker does not need to be the lawn seeker. And this will provide us with turf that will allow the kids to work and play much longer. When it's raining, they can come back. It makes a longer season. It's very, very positive for us.
Yes, thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, I've always voted in the negative on the installation of these turf fields out there. But my understanding, reading both of these two next resolutions, that a negative on these puts the county in jeopardy because of what, if we go through it, we've already proven that, what it's to do and what it's not to do. But, so we should be voting in favor of this because it protects us from any legal actions down the line. That's what I'm saying. So I will be voting in favor of both of these, although I don't agree with the turf fields.
Thank you for your support.
Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution EP3 by Legislator Chesler.
I offer this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution declaring the County of Oswego as lead agency and approving a negative declaration Legends Field parking lot paving project.
Yes, similar to the first one, we are declaring ourselves lead agency. This is our land and gives us the ability to make sure all policies and stuff are taken care of properly. And this is paving over the parking lot, and once again, it is a type 2 project.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to the Health Committee, Resolution HE1 by Legislator Carrasco.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the headings?
Resolution appointing member to the Oswego County Board of Health.
So the Board of Health, due to a retirement, has an opening. Dr. Mary Ann Hampton Smith. She is a veterinarian. We have always had a vet on the board because our policy does encompass rabies and other things that we're doing in the county. That's it.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE2 has been pulled. Resolution HE3 by Legislator Carrasco.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the increase of budget in the health department to purchase COVID vaccine.
So every time we do anything with COVID, in this county, a group of people that run one direction, run another, and quite a few people that look at it and think, why are we involved in it? This is a mandate from the state of New York that we have to carry the vaccine. It is not a mandate that you have to get the vaccine. That's up to individual choice. You have the freedom to make those decisions. It doesn't involve wearing masks. It doesn't involve shutting down schools. It doesn't involve telling stores that they've got to let so many customers in at the same time. It's simply if you took the vaccine, you've been getting the boosters, this is the next booster. It is your individual choice whether you want to do that or not, but we are told we have to carry it for those that make that decision that they want to get it.
Yes, thank you. So this is a mandate, but there is funding for it, at least.
Right.
Any other discussion? Legislator Gilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Regardless of the effectiveness of the vaccine and your thoughts on it, I see this as another state mandate, Big Brother telling us what we have to do. Although there's some funding for it, it goes against my grain. I think the state needs to take care of New York City and Albany, not worry about Oswego County.
Right. I would note that it's funded this year, and then state statute would be to not fund it next year. It still would be a mandate. Any other discussion? Legislator Schott.
I'm appalled, Ed, that you would oppose carrying a vaccine that addressed a once-in-a-century pandemic. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Legislator Stidham.
Did we say that it's mandated that we get the vaccine? Did you say that, Jen?
No, it's not to receive internally the vaccine. It's mandated that we stock it.
We have to carry it.
I guess I have to stand with legislative shot on this. Is always, we should be doing everything we can. That's what we're here for, it's a service for the taxpayers and people in this county. And if it's mandated, it's mandated. We do an awful lot of things that are mandated that don't service everybody. This is going to be there to help service everybody. And I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. We got to do this, and I wouldn't believe that somebody would oppose something like this.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I hadn't planned to speak, but because I've just heard what I've heard, I feel it my duty to speak for those of us in our constituents who don't believe that the vaccine is a healthy choice for Americans, that think it's a waste of money of taxpayers' dollars, especially at this juncture when we have the research there that shows us adverse side effects, especially to the populations that are getting the vaccine. So I don't think it's appalling at all that Mr. Gilson would oppose it. I will be voting no on this also, and I feel that it is my duty morally, ethically, to oppose it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
So if we get enough votes to pass this, I'm going to try for Speaker of the House.
It's apparently a temporary job.
But I got to know.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 3 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE4 by Legislator Craftsman.
By the way, I want to thank everyone for their comments on that. That's how government is supposed to work. Mr. Chairman, I present the following resolution. Fellow legislators for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the creation of 2 positions in the health department, 1 speech-language pathologist and 1 certified special education teacher.
So, one of the committees that I sit on in NISAC is Children with Special Needs. Every single year, and I know that Phil hears it from being on the board, there's a resolution that goes forward to try to create a resolution of the problem of getting children served in the counties. This resolution helps us in this county get a little bit further ahead in the game. It's services that we have to provide. Unfortunately, it's very difficult to find people to do this and then retain them. But the ones that do have it right do a good job, and it will be an asset to us. So it is for 1 speech pathologist and 1 certified special ed teacher.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HE5 by Legislator Carrasco.
See, I've had to stand up for a while, so I'm not Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing health department vehicle leases or vehicles.
So, we have found that in the past, when we worked with hospice and other programs in the health department, that leasing vehicles is a more financial gain for the county rather than buying vehicles. The benefits of this is not only the maintenance, but certain wear and tear on them that come swap them out. And that's really it. Saves a little bit of money that way, we're diversifying.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0
Resolution HE6 by legislator Kraft.
Mr. Chairman, fellow legislators, I present the following resolution for your consideration.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution appointing members to the Oswego County Traffic Safety Board.
So this has always been an oddball one over the years in the past, when people have questioned why is this in the health department. I actually think that the original thinking on that was if we can keep you alive by following the rules, then you're going to be healthier because of it. Anyway, there is an appointment due to a vacancy, Jared Marino, and there's a short write-up on the back of the page.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to the Infrastructure, Facilities, and Technology Committee, Resolution IT1 by legislator House.
Yes, I recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, central services, supplement existing capital project to fund computer upgrades.
Yes, we're replacing the computers for the county workers. The life of these computers is usually 5 to 7 years, so time to update them.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
I just would like to know how many, how much the computers that were given to the legislature is in this, and how much it's costing us to do the upgrades to them. Because I'm looking around the room and I see them all here. I look around the committee meetings and I see them all being used there. But I wonder where we're wasting our money there. Does anybody have any idea how many of those are in this plan? Yeah, I know we got them upgraded when I came in a year ago, 2 years ago.
You mean the legislator?
Legislative computers that we get. Everybody has got a laptop and computer. Are they in this mix?
We have,
I didn't, yeah.
They may, we're still assessing the replacement for the existing tablets.
so they're not
These are
actually,
just for
they're not
county
actually
workers
in this.
right now.
These are desktop and laptop.
Well, when it comes time for us, I think you should eliminate ours. Go ahead.
Thank you very much.
Any other discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT2 by legislator House.
I recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution establishing capital project number E0323, Oswego County Airport electric vehicle and charging station acquisition and installation.
Yes, I believe this is for the airport, and I think we only had to put in, what, $8,000? The rest of it is capital project, or no?
Yeah, this is for the electric pickups.
Yes,
that we go over
charging
there,
pickups.
or last month.
Yes.
Any discussion? Legislator Price.
I think it's a great opportunity for us to find out if this program works for us or not. You know, rather than diving in and buying electric vehicles, here's a chance for that $8,000. We're going to get the charging station, the money to put it in, and 2 pickup trucks, and the opportunity to take a look at this program. We all know that at some point, to some degree, electric vehicles are going to be part of everyday life. There's no way to circumvent that. So what a great chance for us to have a look at that, at that kind of cost.
Any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Again, this is, I know $8,000 is local share, but the whole thing comes out of taxpayer money. And I know it's user fees, well, I'm sorry, the user fees are still, a fee is a tax, and I can't be in favor of something like this. I know that it gives us a chance to see how it's going, but here, again, is something that's going to be put in there, and how much do we owe to the federal, the FAA, if we want to get out of the airport now? It's just going to put us, again, upside down on our cost of having that airport. And I think it should be privatized, and I will not be voting in favor of this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Legislator Crest?
This money comes from allocation from the FAA that part of the airline buy a ticket, there's a certain percentage of that that goes to that organization, and this money is coming out of that. Yeah, it is a user fee, but anytime you buy a ticket, you're paying an airline a user fee to get on the plane. You're paying the bus a user fee to ride the bus. You're paying a taxi a user fee for a ride. So I just can't say it enough. I think that for not a pro-electric at this point, I would love to see something change my mind. If that's going to be what we got to live with, I would like to see it.
Thank you. I think it is important to note that this is not tax money that's funding this, it's airline ticket sales, so the people can fly. Any other discussion?
Chairman, I would just like to point out Mr. Castillo's statement that $8,000 is going to put us upside down at the airport. That's absurd. So I would certainly approve this resolution going forward. I mean, our cost is $8,000 for 2 brand new electric trucks. It's absurd to think that that's going to put the county airport in jeopardy.
Thank you. Legislator Castillo?
The $8,000 isn't what's going to put us up over the top. It's the total cost. If we wanted to get out of the airport, we couldn't sell it for what we owe the FAA to get out of it. That's what puts us up. So same thing with your lease and you buy your car. And so,
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I don't believe anybody in this room is, besides himself, is into getting out of the airport at any point in this juncture. So it's an absurd argument to be given.
Thank you. Any other discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT3 by Legislator House.
I recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution to amend to add additional equipment to capital project number 0423, highway equipment capital project.
Yes, if anybody's gone up down the road, they see these new fancy long arm mowers that are able to mow along the other side of the guardrails without having to use chemicals or otherwise. This is funded out of the CHIPS with a balance left of $77,988.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT4 by Legislator House.
Yeah, I recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, buildings and grounds, gas and heating fuel.
Yeah, just moving money.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT5 by Legislator House.
Yes, sir, I recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification, buildings and grounds, overtime.
That's another case of moving money. Overtime for buildings and grounds.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT6 by Legislator House.
Okay, I recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract, engineering services proposal, Bristol Hill, Cell 5, engineering services for design and bidding.
Yeah, these next two resolutions, I'm just going to yield it to the chair of, or
yeah.
department chair. Department chair, excuse me.
This was based on our survey that we had done, our landfill is filling up faster than we had thought. So we're doing the engineering now to design it yourself, get the bid package together. We'll get the bids on the street mid-January. Once I get those back, I'll look at purchasing the B&L, get a capital project established, and we can get this stuff going.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT7 by Legislator House.
I recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budgetary modification, Department of Solid Waste, Insurance Recovery Fund, Department of Solid Waste fund balance.
This is just the insurance payment we got on the work we had done on the boiler, we're just transferring it from the insurance recovery fund to my department fund.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to the Finance and Personnel Committee, Legislator Mangano with FP1.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the headings?
Resolution awarding professional services contract RFP 23-PURC-001 online auctions and surplus county goods.
This is awarding online auctions of surplus county goods to Collar City Auctions.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 21 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP2 by Legislator Mangano.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding professional services contract to provide third-party administration services for Oswego County Self-Insured Health and Pharmacy Benefit Program, Human Resources Department.
Let's see. The advisory committee recommends that the Finance and Personnel Committee and the Oswego County Legislature authorize a one-year contract with the option of 4 one-year renewals with Excelis to include Med plus RX with implementation date of January 1st, 2024.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution FP3 by Legislator Mangano.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution and I urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing professional services contract, accounting services for County Treasurer's Office.
This is so that the Treasurer's Office can utilize ProNexus as a third-party accounting company to do any required accounting function as per the agreement contract and cannot exceed $65,000. ProNexus will be paid and agreed upon fee schedule.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Any unfinished business? Any miscellaneous business? Legislator Holt.
Yes, we have a GC4.
Well, we're going to come back into session here. Legislator House.
Yes, motion to go into executive session to discuss matters pertaining to the proposed acquisition, sale, or lease of real property.
Okay, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Thank you. For the general public, we're going to go to an executive session now. I would ask you have to leave the room. I wouldn't think it would be more than 10, 15 minutes. And then we'll come get you as soon as we're back in session. Thank you. Pat, before we get going again here, we do have an amendment by Legislator Reed.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer a slight amendment to HS9 that we just passed a few minutes ago. We have the word beach instead of bridge next to Sandy Island Bridge. It says Sandy Island Beach, and then it also says that, so we're exchanging the word beach for the word bridge, also in the first resolve of that resolution.
All right, so everybody understands a bit of an edit. We called it a beach. It's really a bridge. Okay.
It was a typo.
So we have a motion. We need a motion to amend. Second. Any discussion on the amendment? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
So then back to that resolution as amended. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
All right, thank you. So now we're back in full swing. Legislator House.
Need to waive the rules for resolution GC4, IT8, IT9, IT 10, IT 11, and HS 11 only.
Thank you. Do we have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? Legislator Castillo.
Mr. Chairman, I want to explain my vote here. The format of the legislature is committee meetings the week before the full legislative meeting. It used to be 2 weeks before the full legislative meeting. It was changed, and Reader's Digest version at that time was, this will give department heads and Phil to get everything all together so that we don't have somebody waive the rules, special meetings ahead of the legislative meetings and walk out. What we have now shows a lack of management and poor planning. In the private sector, someone would be terminated for this. Slogan on my production control wall was, poor planning on your part doesn't constitute an emergency on my part. This is just the opposite. Here as it goes, we stop, lead, department heads have to be held accountable for mismanagement and poor planning. A statement, we didn't anticipate this cost, is not an explanation, it's an excuse. The state just put this on us. The state government moves slower than a snail. So it didn't just happen right away, we should have known ahead of time. We've had one full legislative meeting, 9/11. We've had 2 special meetings, 9/15, 9/26, plus committee meetings. We've had waived the rules numerous times, most recently August meeting and the September meeting. We need to get our act together because we're not acting like we know what we're doing. And I'm sorry, thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to yield to the other side as far as saying that, business is business, and when things come up, it has to be taken care of. Or we can compile it all, and we can stay here till midnight if you want, right? But I'm not as happy with these emergency meetings as you are. But
Sir, what I'm saying, sir, is that the department heads have to get the act together. That's why we have the meetings a week before the ledge meeting, so that we don't have these waived rules. So that's what I'm saying. And I'm not saying that we don't need these things, now all of a sudden we need them.
you want
But
to
we
do
should
them
have
or
known
not?
ahead of time.
You want to do them or not?
We should have them ahead of time.
They gotta be done.
Let's go back. Any other discussion?
Aye.
All those in favor of waiving the rules for the stated resolution?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 23 in favor, 1 opposed, and 1 excused to waive the rules.
Thank you. Moving now then to Resolution GC4 by Legislator Holt.
Mr. Chairman, I offer this resolution for its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the headings?
A resolution authorizing the County of Oswego to commence or join litigation concerning recent amendments to the racing, car control, wagering, and breeding law as pertains to the Western Regional Off-Track Betting Corporation and to retain Lakes Martin LLP in connection with its representation of Oswego County and other county claimants.
This is to keep the same representation it has for almost 50 years. And Mark on charge, is that correct?
This is actually moved by New York State to strip us not only of our power, but eventually our money that we receive from this off-track betting. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Moving now to Resolution IT-8 by Legislator Howe.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I recommend this resolution with urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing budget modification to increase capital project number C0122, Bonner Street Complex renovation.
Yes, as it reads, we're moving money to start to rebuild on Bunner Street.
Right, this is establishes the capital project,
Capital
the funding streams we need to identify yet, but this gets the ball moving. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT-9 by Legislator Howe.
I recommend this resolution in urgent adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution awarding contractors for the Bunner Street Complex renovation bid 23 BG 003.
This is just a resolution awarding the bid for the renovation.
Correct. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT 10 by legislator Huff.
Recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution amending resolution number 311 of 2023, authorizing the county highway superintendent to enter into snow and ice agreements on certain terms.
Yes, we've been through this before. This is an amendment to redo the contract. Contract remains the same except for the years that we're gone from 3 to 1.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution IT 11 by legislator Huff.
Yes, recommend this resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
County of Oswego, New York resolution of the county legislature of the county of Oswego, New York, authorizing a declaration of official intent under U.S. Treasury regulations with respect to reimbursement from bond proceeds of temporary advances made by the county for payment of project costs prior to issuance of bonds and related matters.
I'm going to yield that to you.
I'm giving it to him.
There you go.
What this resolution is a declaration of intent on behalf of the county. If the county wishes to seek bonds to pay for all or a portion of the Bunner Street renovation, this resolution allows the county to replenish a general fund from the bonds to be issued if they're issued. It does not commit the county to bonding. It's a requirement if the county goes to bond and it wishes to replenish general fund, it may do so, but it has to declare its intent first. And that's what this is.
Thank you. Any discussion? Legislator Rios.
Mr. Chairman, I just wanted to commend the clerk for having to deal with the longest resolution names I've ever seen in my life all in one meeting. Thank you very much.
Well, you still have a record for speaking time.
Well, you have to credit where credit's due.
Understood. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 24 in favor, 0 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Resolution HS 11 by legislator Rios.
Mr. Chairman, I offer following the last resolution and urge its adoption.
Will the clerk please read the heading?
Resolution authorizing the execution and repurchase option agreement with Mark D. Knopp and Joy Knopp concerning the purchase of property commonly known as 35 Health Camp Road in the town of Oswego.
This is to purchase the option to buy over the course of 2 years for $2,000.
Thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Mr. Chairman, that's 22 in favor, 2 opposed, and 1 excused.
Thank you. Before we look for a motion to adjourn, I would like to add that although we have had spirited discussion tonight, 91% of our resolution passed with bipartisan support, and I thank you for that. Looking for the appropriate motion.
Motion adjourned.
Second.
We're adjourned. Now, anyone that wishes a public comment period?
Mr. Chairman, I have a pressing matter I have to.
Understood, sir. Legislator Hoffman.
Chairman, who gave you those percentages?
Oh, I do them in my head.
Yeah, you knew. Okay, yeah.
No, it's like 91 or so.
You'll get a good job in jail.
All right, thank you. If this is your first time speaking here at the county, welcome. What we'll have you do is you come forward up to the podium. You have 5 minutes to speak. And we'd like to keep it nice and civil.
State your name.
And so we'll state your name. We'll all call your name off. But at the beginning of your comment, you also state your name. So first we have Zach Huff. Would you come forward?
There is also a timer there that'll let you know.
What's that?
There's a timer there that'll let you know too.
Oh, all right, cool. My name's Zach Huff. I've heard a lot today about spending, parking lots being paved for a ball field. the new illustrious mowers on the side of the highway department, or the highways, county roads. My question to you guys is, who does all that work? Anybody? The highway department, the guys that run that equipment, the guys that lay that blacktop. Now, I'm sure all you know inflation rates are through the roof. Cost of living's through the roof. I myself, I have to work 2 jobs to provide for my family. And I'm sure I know there's other guys I work with that have to do the same. And I know all you guys received a raise this year. Now, business is business. I want to know why we're not talking and getting our contract solidified. I've heard stories about a report. Anybody know the status on that? No? Well, I can tell you the answer to that main question. We're not paid enough. Not even close. Not even a little bit. Towns are outpaying us, and they don't do the fraction of the work. And I hear we don't deserve a raise. But when your roads are plowed in the wintertime and you guys are getting to work safely, your roads get new blacktop every summer, and we're breaking our backs, moving blacktop by hand, cutting trees in the wintertime, showing up to work at 3 a.m. so you guys can get to work at 6 a.m. safely? I don't understand. Can anybody give me an explanation? Anybody? No? I didn't think so. Now, I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, but I know there's people here that have stated that we don't deserve a raise. So my statement to you is come work with me. See how easy it is for a whopping 45 grand a year. Base. Because I don't think it's funny. What's inflation? 8%? It's come down this year a little bit. 5 years ago it was 1% and change. So to me it's still up. I can't fill my truck without spending $80 minimum. Can't get groceries without dropping 100 and change. And that's just for a little bit of stuff. So we've been waiting to talk. I don't know why the talk's not being had. Anybody got anything to say about that? Nothing. Crickets. We're hiring guys. They have no idea what's going on. People are going to get hurt. People have gotten hurt. Because we don't pay nobody nothing. You're going to get what you pay for. You know, the quality of the work it's getting worse and worse. And the guys that have been here 10, 15, 20 years, they're looking. They're looking for better paying jobs. Somewhere where they can feed their families, put gas in their truck. You guys are going to lose a lot of good people, and you're going to lose, good roads. You're going to lose the ability to get to work safely. That's all I got.
Thank you. Next we have Lori Murphy. Thank you. You have 5 minutes.
Mr. Chairman, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not even sure this is the appropriate forum. I was directed here, so, okay. I'm looking for an answer. I'm going to summate a situation or something just as fact, and it has nothing to do. My name's Lori Murphy. I'm a licensed state licensed psychotherapist. addictionologist, clinical social worker. I came to this county in 2000 on a federal grant. The county was looking for someone to write a program for sex offenders living in the community. And they canvassed me and I came here. There was a $500,000 grant. I wrote the program and they were having difficulty finding a sex offender specific therapist. It's a specific kind of therapy. There'll be no cutting the hair. So at that time, yes, the grant ran out and they asked me if I would go into private practice because we had 91 offenders and they could not locate anyone qualified to do it. I agreed to. I went into private practice in 2004. At that time, there was a situation with a probation officer with one of the sex offenders, and therefore I went to the director with the situation, and in turn, this is how it turned out. The woman they gave me to take care of the business aspect had embezzled $131,000. Secondly, though, however, Ms. Barbara Schuler at the time was the director, and she sent a letter to every magistrate, all the attorneys, all 91 of my clients, the judges, and myself, informing them that as of today, he told a probation officer that you may have been unprofessional or unethical. Therefore, we filed a complaint with the Office of Professional Discipline, and we will wait on their determination as to whether we will continue to use you in your program. Okay. After that, and they wiped me out, understandably. So a couple of years later, I have a lot of credentialing. I had been doing evaluations for Department of Social Services, yada, yada, yada. And all of a sudden, they're not referring to me anymore, and then it's understood that the thing is my credentials were fake. Well, that wasn't true, so I had no other remedy but to sue for libel and slander. Went to court, and apparently His Honorable Judge Sider informed that by my own admission, I am not a KSAC. KSAC is a certified substance abuse counselor. No, I'm not. I'm way beyond that. However, we tried to let him know I'm here for libel and slander, but he resolved that by my own admission, I'm not a KSAC, therefore the case was dismissed with prejudice. It lasted about 19 minutes. Okay, that's fine. Moving forward, we're going to appeal. 2011, go to appeal, because that's in Monroe County. In Rochester, as it turns out to be, they never did make a complaint with the Office of Professional Discipline. That was a lie. Not sure where it served other than to destroy me, but the letter was never sent. I never shared that information with anyone. I was just grateful to continue practicing, because at this point, I never took another position anywhere, because where are you going when the interview is, by the way, I'm under investigation by the Office of Professional Discipline. Is that a problem? Yeah, where am I going? I wrote a program for non-offending significant others of offenders to educate them, some things to look at, whatever. I was trying to educate the community so they weren't caught up in all the myths they're hearing and how they're accelerating their problem with offenders. But either way, okay. So now, that brings me to now. As of about 7 months ago, well, let me back just a little bit further. 3 years ago, I had to go to family court and have custody of my little grandchildren. And I had to go through the department, as everybody else does. I've had professional issue in the department in the past with, time up. Oh, that's all right.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ryan Holsworth. Thank you. 5 minutes.
Thanks for listening to me, legislators. I've been working here 14 years as a heavy equipment operator for Oswego County Highway. This was one of the most sought out jobs when I first got hired. I needed to know a legislator before I got there. Barb Brown. That was the way I got in here. That's the only way you could get in here. Past 5 years, inflation, everything, turnover, we've lost many guys. I think we've lost 60 guys in the past 3 years. Like Zach was saying, that's experience you're kicking out the door. We got guys that can run heavy equipment, can do every sort of work on the mechanical ends. We're losing that. Now all our equipment's being shipped out to Tracy Road Equipment, wherever, to get fixed. We're losing that too. It's costing us taxpayers, myself, more money than to have somebody else hire a good mechanic to work on our equipment. It's just sad how things have gone from being such a great paying job and looking so well 3 years ago looking good, and now gotta tell my kids, sorry, can't do this, can't do that. It's not fair. I mean, this welfare gets a raise, they get more money, and it's a kick in the teeth for people that gotta work every day. And it's sad. I gotta hold a Class A license to keep this job every day. And these people can go out and do whatever. And it's just sad. Thank you.
Mr. House, is there any others?
That was it.
All right. Well, thank you. I'd like to thank you for coming. Ryan, if I could see you for a second after. No, we're not going. Anything else? Last chance. Thank you very much.